2 handfuls of flour go flying into the empty mixing bowl on the freshly washed counter. 3 eggs crack against the lip of the bowl, the yolk flowing out. A pinch of salt lands on the freshly cracked eggs as olive oil oozes out of the bottle. The bowl is placed under the running faucet for a few seconds to complete the mixture. Strong hands knead the ingredients into a moist dough ball. After a few hours, the dough is taken out of the refrigerator, ready to be turned into macaroni. The dough is put through the hand-cranked dough roller to be flattened. Then, it is formed into long strings and laid to dry on the comforter in the spare bedroom. I have witnessed my grandma carry out this process of making delicious, fresh homemade pasta many of times to prepare for Sunday dinner. This simple but important ritual has been passed down through my family, starting from my great-grandma to my sisters and myself.
Hello, my name is Nick Rosso, and I'm going to be talking to you today about Italian Americans. I myself am a fourth-generation Italian American, and while I'm sure that you've heard a lot about Italian Americans that lived in the 1900s, I doubt you know much about fourth-generation Italian Americans who live in the United States today. There's been a lot of research done on Italian Americans who lived in the early to mid-1900s. However, these were mainly first and second generation Italian Americans. Researchers say that Italian Americans who lived in that time period lived in close-knit communities called Little Italies. They formed these close-knit communities because of the discrimination that the Italian Americans faced, primarily from the Irish immigrants that came before them. This discrimination was furthered by American pop culture movies such as The Godfather.
To get first-hand information, I asked my grandmother, a second-generation Italian American, if her family faced discrimination when she was growing up. I was shocked to find out that her family did face a lot of discrimination. It was difficult for her father to get a decent job, and he ended up working any job he could to put food on the table. He cleaned offices, sold blueberries, worked as a fireman, a coal miner, a blacksmith, and much more. This shocked me because I've never felt discriminated against for being an Italian American. I decided to ask my sister Sarah, who is 17 and also a fourth-generation Italian American, about whether she had ever faced discrimination for being an Italian American.
No, that's actually never crossed my mind. I haven't had an experience where someone treated me badly or where I couldn't do something I wanted to do just because of my race, because I was Italian.
As you can see, the experiences of fourth-generation Italian Americans differ greatly from the experiences of our grandparents and great-grandparents. While reflecting on my own life as an Italian American, I have found that ultimately food and family are the most important to my ethnic identity. As in most Italian American families, family always comes first, period. Whether it's missing a party with my friends to go to a family dinner at my grandma's house, or taking an hour out of my busy schedule to sit down and have dinner with my family every night, or going to see my cousins play. No matter what, family always comes first. At least once a month, my immediate family, my cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, everyone would all gather together at one of our houses, usually my grandma's, to celebrate basically anything we could. Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, graduations, you name it. These celebrations have given me some of the fondest memories of my childhood, but also shaped the person that I have become. Having such a close family has given me a self-confidence that I could not have achieved without my family. I know that I have a strong foundation and that I can always count on my family. This has helped me to be confident in myself and take challenges head on. For example, I would never have been able to achieve a 4.0 in high school all 4 years without my family supporting me. However, having a family as close as mine does have some drawbacks. For example, my social life was significantly affected. While most of my friends were hanging out on a Friday or Saturday night, I was with my family. Additionally, your privacy is essentially non-existent when you have such a close family. Whenever something happened in our family, large or small, it would spread through the family rapidly, whether you wanted to or not. Like when I got a new girlfriend, I got calls from all of my relatives within a couple hours of just telling one of my family members. On the other hand, Italian food has given me the opportunity to not only embrace my culture, but to also experience a part of my ancestors' lives. Food has always been a significant part of the ethnic identities of Italian Americans. Andrea Dottolo, who has a PhD from the University of Michigan, explores how social identities are constructed. Dottolo analyzes how food represents family, morality, culture, and home to Italian American women. Lorraine Caputo, who graduated from the Manhattan Institute for Psychoanalysis in 1986, has been a practicing therapist for over 20 years. She says that Italian Americans are either revered for the sensual art they have made of food or objectified as the Hollywood gangster. Both Dottolo and Caputo are focused only on how the aspect of food affects women. However, Italian food has played a significant role in my life as well as in the lives of the women in my family.
As you can see, my personal identity, as well as my ethnic identity, have been significantly impacted by my close-knit family and Italian food. Fourth-generation Italian Americans today still embrace their ethnic identities, but the ways in which they do so have evolved. The ethnic communities that existed in the times of our grandparents and great-grandparents are virtually non-existent today. Today, close family, Italian food, traditions, and memories of our ancestors allow Italian Americans like myself to embrace our roots, but to also keep adding to the history of Italian Americans.
Happy holiday, happy holiday. May the calendar keep bringing happy holidays to you.